Hi everyone. Welcome to the Geeky Minds, your source for things related to system design and back-end development. If you are new here, I'm Gourav, a back-end developer and your new friend in the tech world. Let's explore and learn about system design and back-end development together. Don't forget to check out my blog, https://thegeekyminds.com for even more great content. And please don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe, so we can continue this amazing journey together. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, and let's get started.
Microservices versus monolithic architecture, which one should you choose? Microservices and monolithic architecture are two prevalent architectural types that have evolved in the field of software development. Organizations find it difficult to pick which strategy to adopt because each one has its own distinct benefits and cons. We will explore the advantages and disadvantages of both microservices and monolithic architecture and offer advice on which is most appropriate for specific project types. Continue watching as we review the main factors to consider while picking the best architecture for your project. Let's dive right in. Microservices are similar to a large project that has been divided into smaller, simpler components. Each microservice can be worked on and combined with other microservices to form a larger project, much like when constructing with Legos. As a result, it is simpler for a team of individuals to work on various project components concurrently and to make project adjustments. It resembles putting together a puzzle, but one made up of many smaller pieces that may be assembled in several ways. A large program can be divided into several smaller, independent components known as services using the software architecture design pattern known as microservices. It is simpler to create, test, and maintain the application when these services collaborate to carry out a given task. Making each service concentrate on a single function will make it simpler to scale and update the application as necessary. Advantages of microservices. Scalability. Microservices allow for horizontal scaling, which means adding more resources to the system as needed. This makes it easier to accommodate increased traffic and processing demands. Resilience. Microservices architecture is created to be fault-tolerant, which means that if one service fails, it has no effect on the system as a whole. This helps to assure high availability. Flexibility. Because each microservice can be created and deployed individually, it is simpler to update one microservice without affecting the other components of the system. Additionally, this enables teams to use several technologies and coding languages for every microservice, fostering better innovation and optimization. Independent deployment. By allowing for the independent deployment of each microservice, it is possible to provide products more quickly and lower the risk of deployment failure or downtime. Drawbacks of microservices. Complexity. Because microservices are dispersed, managing, coordinating, and communicating with them might be more difficult. To design, implement, and maintain the system, a greater level of technical skill is also necessary. Operational overhead. Maintaining a microservices architecture involves overseeing several components and organizing communication between them. Latency. In large-scale systems with numerous interdependencies, communication across microservices may cause increasing latency. Monolithic architecture. Monolithic architecture is comparable to a large building with numerous rooms where each room is connected to the others and cannot be used independently. Consider having a single large toy box where all of your toys are housed. Now that you need to discover a specific item, you must also search through all the other toys. This is comparable to monolithic architecture, where everything is interconnected and it can be challenging to locate a particular item. A monolithic architecture is a style of software architecture in which every element of an application is created and flawlessly merged into one cohesive whole. This signifies that the entire application utilizes the same memory and database and is run as a single process. This kind of architecture is simple to create and deploy, but as the application expands, it may be challenging to manage and scale. Advantages of monolithic architecture. Simplicity. Monolithic architecture follows a single-tiered approach where all the components and features of an application are built into a single codebase. Easier to develop and deploy. Since all the components are integrated into a single codebase, it is easier to develop and deploy a monolithic application. The development process is streamlined, and there are no concerns about integration between different components. Improved performance. Monolithic applications can offer improved performance compared to microservices architecture since there is no overhead of inter-service communication. Drawbacks of monolithic architecture. Lack of scalability. Monolithic architecture can quickly become unwieldy and difficult to scale as the application grows. Upgrading components or adding new features requires a full application rebuild and deployment. Monolithic applications are usually more rigid, making it harder to update individual components without affecting the entire application. This can lead to increased downtime and disruptions to users. Rigidity. The tight coupling of components in monolithic architecture makes it difficult to change the application or add new features. This rigidity can stifle innovation and lead to decreased competitiveness in the long run. Comparison of microservices and monolithic architecture. Development speed. Monolithic architecture allows for faster development due to its simplicity, whereas microservices architecture requires more time for development. Microservices architecture involves breaking down the application into smaller, more manageable components. Microservices architecture is more scalable, as individual components can be scaled independently to accommodate increased demand. Scaling a monolithic architecture can be more challenging. Maintenance. In a microservices architecture, individual components can be updated and maintained without affecting the entire system. In contrast, updating a monolithic architecture often requires updating the entire system. Flexibility. Microservices architecture is more flexible, as it allows for different components to be written in different programming languages. Microservices architecture can be more complex due to the need for inter-service communication and coordination. Monolithic architecture is typically simpler, as all components are tightly integrated. In conclusion, choosing between microservices and monolithic architecture ultimately comes down to your specific project's requirements, business needs, technical capabilities, and team skill set. The choice between microservices and monolithic architecture largely depends on the specific business requirements, project scale, technical capabilities, and skill set of your team. Business requirements. Microservices are best suited for complex projects with multiple, distinct business domains and frequent changes in the organizational structure. On the other hand, monolithic architecture is ideal for small projects with a single, straightforward business domain. Project scale. Microservices are more suited for large-scale projects that require scalability and increased flexibility. Monolithic architecture is a better choice for smaller projects with limited scalability requirements. Technical capabilities. Microservices require a strong technical infrastructure, including a robust database, API management, and a robust security system. On the other hand, monolithic architecture is less complex and requires less technical infrastructure. Team skill set. Microservices also require a highly skilled and cross-functional team, with expertise in multiple domains and technologies. Monolithic architecture is less complex and can be managed by a smaller, less specialized team. Based on these considerations, you can make an informed decision on which architecture is best suited for your project. If your project is complex and large-scale, with multiple business domains and a high level of technical complexity, then microservices may be the better choice. If your project is small and has limited scalability requirements, then monolithic architecture may be the right choice. And that's a wrap. Hi, I am Gourav Dhar, a software developer, and I create content on back-end development and system design. Subscribe to my newsletter and learn something new every week.